Welcome to Tech Talk, the podcast about tech talk.
For everyday people.
My name is Dami.
And I am Ian, but you guys already know that.
And we are your favorite tech podcast host. As
Yeah.
usual, there has been so much going on within the tech world. At this point, it is so hard to keep up. Personally, I think I love tech. I work in tech. It's something that I should be aware of, but it's like every day there's always something happening. And I mean, part of the reasons why we're here for you is to help you stay up to date on the major and the important news that you need to be aware of within the tech ecosystem. So we're going to kickstart with no other person but our favorite tech man. Tech man,
Elon Musk.
tech bro.
Elon Musk. Some podcasts back, Dami, you mentioned that if
Something
Elon
is
Musk
happening
is not in the news, there's something wrong, right? You
wrong.
mentioned, like, you are 100% right. The
Quote
man is
me anywhere. Put
the
it there.
man the man is always busy. There's always something happening with him.
Yes.
And this time, Tesla just approved a $1 trillion compensation plan for Elon Musk, pretty much, right? And so, if for anyone that's been keeping up to date with what's been happening with Tesla for a while, there's been a lot of buzz, pretty much about a vote that was ongoing for Tesla shareholders to pretty much decide on whether to give Elon Musk a new compensation package of up to $1 trillion. And this past week, it was pretty much decided and approved by Tesla shareholders. About 75% of shareholders voted in favor of it, which is pretty much in line with similar votes that have happened for Elon Musk compensation in the past. And yeah, this was really interesting news to kind of like come out this week.
The best part about it for me is if this follows through completely, it might make Elon the very first trillionaire of our time.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
definitely.
incredible. Like it is absolutely mind blowing. One person having that much wealth. I cannot even imagine what he's going to like do with all that money. Like really. Elon is rich
Yeah,
and he's rich, but being richer? Wow.
yeah, definitely. The way things are going, we might actually end up seeing like trillionaires in our lifetime, Dami, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't have believed that could happen if anyone had said this idea, like, let's say a decade ago, right? Because even having like centi billionaires is something that until recently was still a bit scarce, right? Obviously right now we have quite a few centi billionaires. We have obviously Elon Musk, we have people like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos. There are quite a few of them now, but we are slowly getting to the point where we might actually see trillionaires come up as well. But anyway, Elon Musk, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, Elon Musk's compensation package isn't just going to be handed to him, right? This is actually something that's going to be based on him hitting a number of targets that the Tesla board has pretty much approved for him. So as he hits like different targets that Tesla has given, he will get bits of the compensation down the line. So yeah, so from Elon Musk's perspective, he says he's always kind of like had the opinion or basically like said that it's not really about the money, that it's more about him getting more control over like Tesla and its direction in the future, and he wants to avoid the possibility of being ousted right down the line. So pretty much it's very much about him having some significant, even more like control over the company and the future direction of the company. Right now, Elon has about 15% of Tesla, owns about 15%. So this compensation plan could see him having even a larger percentage, because a lot of the benefits from this compensation plan down the line will be based on like stock allocations to Elon.
Within the company. The
Yeah.
interesting thing about this for me is the fact that it feels just like Elon being a regular employee, like the rest of us. When you work in a company and you define the OKRs at the beginning of the year, every quarter, and they tell you like, oh, you need to like meet your targets to progress to the next level. I feel very comforted right now knowing that Elon is one of us. Is not beating the allegations of folks that work in tech at all. So yes, rooting for him to meet all the targets that they've set. Hopefully he gets the trillion package that has been voted on. But yeah, super excited to hear this. At least it's not a bubble for the longest time in a couple of weeks. Let's see if this is going to stay the same way or if in the coming week there'll be something different, either from the Tesla point of view or something around X. You never know with Elon. You never know.
Yeah, definitely it will be interesting to see how this plays off out long term, right? Especially considering when we think about other competition, stock-based competition packages that Elon Musk has gotten over the past few years. Some years ago, Tesla shareholders kind of like approved a competition package which went into the billions. Also, it was similar to this one. It was based on targets, performance targets, and everything. And Elon Musk actually did hit those performance targets, and he was supposed to get a number like quite a few billions in compensation from hitting those targets, but that was ended up being struck down by the courts, and that actually did lead to a legal battle, which at the end of the day, Elon Musk sort
What?
of like lost.
Oh, he lost it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He actually did. He lost. He lost the legal fight. But what happened was that as a result of that loss, Tesla now held another vote
Walking
with the
around.
shareholders, another vote to the shareholders to kind of like reapprove the compensation package, and they actually did approve it, if I recollect properly. But then again, that was struck down. Um, so yeah, it would be interesting to see how this
This
plays
place
out
out.
long
Oh my
term. Yeah.
goodness. I really hope it doesn't go that way again. But speaking about other billionaires, I mean, Amazon's founder, CEO, is one of the famous billionaires of our time as well. And that brings us to the next piece of news around Amazon. And this time, Amazon is not taking it easy at all. The AI battle is been one area that we've been sharing news about over the last couple of weeks. And this week, it's still not piping down. This competition is so strong lately. It feels like all companies doing stuff within the AI circle are really fighting right now to be the ones like the most relevant. And I find it quite fascinating because it's like you really can't tell where the line is being drawn between copying, taking inspiration, refining it. And Amazon is coming for Perplexity this time.
Amazon is coming for Perplexity at the moment, and specifically their Comet agentic browser. And yeah, Amazon isn't. I feel like, well, basically the whole area of contention is that right now Perplexity's agentic browser doesn't actually indicate that it's a automated bot. Basically, as it's searching, like let's say Amazon's on online inventory, right? And Amazon isn't like a big fan of that. They don't like it. They sent a cease and desist letter to Perplexity, arguing that that's against their terms of service and it should be stopped.
Yeah.
Um, Perplexity in turn accused Amazon of bullying, and they actually they actually wrote a very interesting article about that. It's available on their website for anyone who's interested.
Please
We
read
tried to we tried to link a link to that in the description box. But yeah, that's also something I kind of like developed, and their whole argument in this case from Perplexity side anyway is that it's their users that are using the agents, right? Comet, the users are using Comet. And since it's the user that is instructing Comet to perform actions on it on their behalf, e.g., search
it.
Amazon for this product, then technically it's the
There's
user
one
that is actually accessing Amazon's inventory, and they shouldn't have to indicate that it's a
way
bot
to think
or an
about it.
agent. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting way to look
I
at it.
mean, it's not faulty that logic when you think about it, because. But I see things from Amazon's point of view as well. Each person is just like trying to keep the action within their own control and not exceed it like outside of their company's reach to someone else to be like handling. But yeah, literally the comments, shopping assistant, that is something that I find very useful personally. But agency browsing, that is still like a relatively new area, still powered by AI. And it's just going to be like quite interesting to see. Again, one thing I always say, and Yano loves AI, as you all but I am always just like talking about the that line between consent and using users' data, really. I think it might be something that will play out maybe negatively over time, but this is like an example, literally. If this goes out to court, I'm quite curious to see who's going to come out as the winner between Amazon and Perplexity.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting argument from Perplexity's end, right? In a way, the math does math, right? Like if it's the user instructing the agents to perform the actions, it's like the user. You could argue that that's just how, for example, our browsers work. Like our traditional browsers, the user opens up the browsing app, the user types in the website they want to visit, and so the browser is acting on the user's behalf. So the browser is like a user agent. So theoretically, maybe you can consider a bot like a user agent, right? But then again, if just looking at it, right, holistically, if an argument like that is permitted to like play out, is
Yeah,
granted by the court and by the
I
legal system,
thought
it will
it's
have like so many. It's
mm,
literally have so many ripple effects, right?
yeah,
In terms, I mean, not just looking at the shopping industry and e-commerce industry, right? Also looking at, let's say, web crawling generally, the news, right? Like news agencies, right? Traditionally, websites there's something called like a robot.txt file that sites can use to define which bots are permitted to crawl their websites or which ones they don't, and some sites just don't want bots to use their websites at all, right? And so they can actually use things like the robots.txt file to indicate that, oh, no bots allowed, right? But if this argument is actually allowed to stand,
yeah.
theoretically, you could just say, "Oh, it's
But everywhere.
that's invalid, right?" I mean, you could just say like, "Oh, there's no need for us to indicate that we this is actually a bot, this is an automated
Yeah,
agent." So bots will have like full range, kind of like crawl different platforms, and that could adversely affect, for example, news agencies, right? Like news agencies, I can really see the rationale behind them not wanting bots to scrape their content. I mean, there could be some bots that they want to have access to it, e.g., let's say like a Google search Bing, right? They want their articles to show up in search indexes and so on, right? But on the flip side, they might not want companies who literally offer like LLM search products to have access to their data and use their data for training, right? But then if the courts end up saying, hey, there's no difference between an automated agent and the user itself, then effectively, like
that could be allowed to.
this companies, yeah, that could be allowed, right? So yeah.
It's a steep slope. It's really a steep slope. I think Perplexity probably needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out a way to structure the consent more. But yeah, Amazon definitely has like a strong case here, and they might be in the right, but still, you never know until it plays out. And we'll keep you guys updated on who wins this battle between Amazon and Perplexity.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, in what else has been happening in the news lately, Dami? I'll tell you what. Nvidia, they're always in the news. It's like they're Thanos at this point. They are literally inevitable, you know.
Our favorite stock market component.
Yeah, literally. Recently, they hit $5 trillion in market cap. That's $5 trillion in market cap, Dami. That is insane.
This is crazy, literally. You know, in our last episode, you talked about how there are so many companies that are moving super fast to valuation than a lot of old companies that have been existing. Because you know, some companies take like 20, 30 years to get to their first billion. And now we're saying like all these companies moving with so much speed and really getting to like a high valuation. 5 trillion is huge. Like it is so huge and well deserved because their demand recently, I mean, it's been really relevant to AI as well. But yeah, that's like super interesting. So, what exactly made this possible for them?
Well, there have been so many things that Nvidia sort of like been up to recently. For example, they recently announced a new kind of like collaboration slash deal with Nokia, which is pretty much they're going to be working with Nokia really closely to create some new technology that will be useful in down the line in comms, right? That could help also the AI industry. Besides that, they have reviewed about $5 billion in AI chip orders, and also plans to build 7 new supercomputers for the US government. So there's also that. Yeah, that is 7 new supercomputers for the US government. So yeah, it's a combination of like private deals, like
Yeah,
e.g. with Nokia, but
public.
then also government contracts, right? It's like a multi-dimensional. It's like he's playing Jensen Wang. He's playing
Oh
4D
my
chess at the
way.
moment. Literally, like the man is not messing around. He is not messing around at this point, and it's like super exciting to see all the waves and the direction he's taking the company into. Right?
Yeah, I definitely think like Nvidia with this direction. I like the fact that they're just not limiting themselves to the private sector. I mean, collaboration with company like Nokia is one that is like super cool, but maybe not going to like get their valuation as high up as they would. So having like supercomputers being built for the US government, that's like smart way around it. They're definitely like creating a benchmark for AI chip, and I really do hope like the orders keep pouring in. But yeah, the dominance right now is to take a lot for any competitor to come close to a 5 trillion valuation. But we shall see which one is going to like get up to that level.
Yeah. So while on the topic of AI news, another thing that kind of like appeared in the news recently is that Apple will be using Google's Gemini models to power Siri with Apple Intelligence in the interim. In an open secret, Apple has sort
Yeah.
of been struggling creating and developing their own internal intelligence and internal AI systems, particularly with Siri, for example. We've literally been waiting for Apple Intelligence for ages now, right? So apparently, they'll be working with Google closely to use Gemini with Apple Intelligence. So that's something else that kind of like has happened recently.
I wonder how that's gonna play out for Google Pixel though, because it's not like you're working with your enemy to provide value to your enemy, enemy in quotes anyway. Because I mean, Google Pixel is obviously going to be powered most likely by Gemini if they decide to like build on their assistant as well. But if Google is giving Apple that same access to Gemini to build out their own Apple Intelligence. What do you think that's going to like play out to be? Do you think more people will start to like stop using Google Pixel phones just because Apple Assistant is giving them more value? Well, I mean,
I don't really see that this deal gentrifying the market share of Google, right, in the smartphone space, especially considering Android users do love their Android, right? I mean, I was an Android user at a point. I still
I was
really
an
love
Android
it.
user and yet I moved.
Yeah, I moved, but I still really love Android, right? And I feel like in terms of the value proposition from Google's end, right? Like, what is Google getting out of this?
Yeah.
Um, Google will apparently be getting paid about $1 billion
Oof, okay.
for this, right? So it's not like Google is doing this
That's fine.
out of
Google will be
charity, right? Out of the
fine.
goodness of their heart. They are actually going to be getting compensated as well. So yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
it's
I
an
didn't
interesting one.
think it was going to be like a free deal, but yeah, I mean that's like massive money. I'm just wondering how that's going to like play out on the long run. For Google, I mean, Google will be fine, definitely. Within the Google team, especially the AI sector, they never stop innovating as well, and I'm sure they probably have like more tricks off their sleeve, which Apple might not necessarily be privy to, when this deal eventually like goes through. Well, the good thing about it is now, I mean, Google is still growing on the rise and their revenue has been incredible recently too. Their shares rose in like 5% after they revealed their income and their revenue for this year. The revenue, which is like above 100 billion so far in 2025. But a lot of that has really been powered by YouTube advertising as well as Google Cloud. So it's been a great year for Google. I love the fact that this collaboration is coming in for them, but other areas still making in money as well. Subscription services. Seems like it's great. Google One. I mean, I pay for Google One. I just didn't realize that so many people found value in Google One as well.
Yeah, definitely. So on the YouTube point, YouTube's revenue increased by about 15%, and Google Cloud's revenue increased by about 24% specifically. So yeah, those are definitely significant numbers, right? So good to see Google growing this rapidly, right? And then plus again, they're just making interesting deals as well. this $1 billion deal with Apple is something that we literally just talked about, right? So yeah, that's also happening. So I do see this trend keeping up down the line, especially considering YouTube's it just keeps growing, right? YouTube is right now in terms of the media and consumer entertainment market, YouTube is literally a behemoth, right? A lot of people, when they think about the entertainment space, right, they think about Netflix as kind of like the dominant force in it, right? But then I don't think that's the case. I think specifically when you think about entertainment space and just screen share, like mind share, the amount of time that consumers actually spend watching on different platforms, YouTube is leading that space by like a mile, like a huge amount, right? So YouTube is definitely like one that's going to continue growing, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And talking about YouTube, I mean, if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, this is a little pitch. Click that subscribe and share wherever you're listening to this podcast so other people can find our content as we share tech news on a weekly basis. Moving on to our favorite AI company. Okay, my favorite AI company anyway. Going another week without us talking about OpenAI will feel definitely weird because they never stop doing things as well. But this time they are giving out freebies. And in India, OpenAI has decided they're going to make ChatGPT free for 1 year. Oof, what do we think about that?
I think it's a smart move, right? ChatGPT has to OpenAI must want ChatGPT to grow and to keep up this literally blitzing growth. They have to start making movements and decisions like in this direction. How can they expand their customer base? And one easy way to acquire more customers is to reduce the price to entry, right? And so offering like different free products, giving more, can I say, basically offering more features to customers in different markets with an even lower price is definitely like a way to go and a way to acquire customers. And it's also something that other companies are doing. Like for example, Google has also made Gemini AI Pro service free for students in India for a year. So there's that. So yeah. I think we can also expect to see more of these AI service providers and LLM houses make like create free tiers to kind of like bring on more customers, right?
Yeah. I think the interesting thing about it for me is ChatGPT obviously has the free version, which some people will argue that it doesn't do as much as the pro version. And I'll say I've seen quite a number of tweets where people talk about how they've been able to reconfigure their free ChatGPT to perform more functions that was closely like related to pro actions. So definitely, if this version is something that Indians find useful, it could be a good way to get them to like stay on. But a year is a long time. A lot could change within OpenAI within that duration. So you never can tell if there'll be more features as ChatGPT is on ChatGPT 5 right now. And maybe they're going to drop ChatGPT 6 sometime soon. Nobody knows at this point, but I'm quite keen to see how that plays out. Definitely going to take a look at the data to see if they share any learnings around the performance of that action. Because the way that I see it, yeah, it might come back some point and actually think about it. I mean, Snapchat is also doing a bit of discounts on some of their features, especially Snapchat Plus. But I personally don't see the value in Snapchat Plus. But yeah, those that are using it, they might. If you have like any other products that you currently use or you've tried that has like a free tier or like an heavily discounted section, do share, take a look at it and see if there's actually any value in companies doing like a discount or just making products free. But yeah, first
Yeah,
that
yeah, definitely interesting. I mean, speaking of the data, I mean, when you also think about India's population, right? They have over 1.4 billion people living in India, right? Which is huge, right? And just when you consider growth opportunities, that is a huge growth opportunity and growth market for any company specifically, right? So this is, yeah, this is a massive
even if they
move,
have
I
gotten
believe.
like 10% of that number, yeah, I'll say like it's still massive, in my opinion. Because
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So yeah, we'll definitely keep everyone up to date with the advancements and how this plays out. Um, all right. Another thing that's been in the news recently, SpaceX had their 100th Starlink mission of 2025.
Oof. Okay, that is super huge. Because 100 that one other launches is like quite something. The
Yeah,
amount of
definitely.
money, time, effort that's gone into each launch
Yeah,
is quite something. And they've launched like 10,000 satellites so far, from what I understand. And out of that, about 8,800 of them are actually active. That is quite a success
yeah,
metric to look
yeah. Elon isn't joking around when it comes to Starlink, right? Um, it's scaling. He's scaling the product massively, and it's growing massively as well. And it's just I feel like Starlink is one of those exceptional products that we've seen in recent times, um, delivering internet access through satellites via like a global fleet of satellites. Pretty much is like really like interesting,
at.
and it's also something that's been really useful to governments specifically as well. There have been different use cases for the product. It's been used in the Ukraine war, for example, right, to ensure that people on the front lines have access to internet, and also in remote regions of the world as well, like areas that people normally would not have any internet connection because telcos will not go there because of again because of like
Yeah.
scale. There are not maybe there are not many people living in those areas, so telcos will not look to expand that direction. But then Starlink has given people like that access to internet as well. So it's a product that's actually impacting lives, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see this being scaled out even more.
Yeah. I'm actually proud of Elon for taking that bet, because when he announced Starlink a couple of years back, a lot of people were a bit skeptical about it, and they thought like, oh, this was just going to be one of those ventures that will not really go anywhere. But I would say, like Keanu said, they've delivered like really good value since they launched. They're still delivering like high speed internet to remote areas, and they're functional in like about 150 countries like right now, and that is really massive. That is like good growth to see for Starlink. The interesting thing about this 100th launch is the fact that the first stage booster landed on the drone ship that is called Of Course I Still Love You. Who came up with that? No, like it's to defund people that are pushing like love agenda. You can't how did they your drone? I was like, stop it, change that. Well, I think cute anyway. Anyway, as long as it's launched and the drone ship is working the way it's meant to work, I just felt like that was like an interesting fact to find out about when I saw the news.
Nice, awesome. And other things that have been in the news, looking more into like paying some attention into like Africa. Chowdeck recently announced that they've processed 1 million orders um, in 1 month for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is exciting. What are your thoughts, Tammy?
This is super massive because if I was still living in Nigeria, I think out of that 1 million, I would have contributed at least 1,000 out of it. So,
Well, only 1,000. I think that's rookie numbers,
I
Tammy.
you
Those are rookie
order
numbers.
like, let's do the
You need
math.
to step up your game.
Think about the math. If you order like 3 times a day and
Yeah.
you have like 365 days in a year, it can't. That's as much as it can go. If I'm doing more than that, there's something wrong. I think the service that Chowdeck has been providing has been super cool. And something that I really wanted us to get into is doing like a comparison between Jumia Food and Chowdeck. So for a bit of backstory, for the listeners that are not very conversant with the African food delivery landscape, Jumia Food was the actual giant in food delivery once upon a time. As of 2020, 2021, 2019, 2018, they were that product that everybody wanted to use to like get food delivery done. And I told the Yano earlier, the only grudge that I had with Jumia food is people used to say you order food or Jumia and you just go to your kitchen to cook something small while your food delivery is being done because it takes too long. Like
Mm,
too long for them to deliver your food. And that was
yeah,
the things I do not like about Jumia food at all.
yeah. Honestly, Dami, you said Jumia Food was a product that everybody wanted to use. I don't. I think that might be a bit of a stretch because I don't think people really wanted to use
Oh,
it. I
there
think
was
everybody
no
just
alternative.
did not have an option.
Yeah,
Right? So I mean, let's be honest. So, Jumia Foods. I mean, it gets the job done.
yeah.
Do you know whether they're still active? I'm not
No,
so
they're
sure
not.
either.
Not anymore. At least not within Nigeria. The target market has really dwindled down for the longest time since Chaldec came into the market. And I'll say like one of the things that Chaldec has been able to like really establish is their delivery service. For
Mm,
a country like Nigeria, especially like a city in Lagos, which they started with, delivery is something that is like super paramount because a lot of people actually just want to access service from the comfort of their house.
yeah.
Leaving your house to go anywhere is a struggle
Mm,
because you think you want to go to a restaurant to get food before you know it, you're stuck in traffic for like a couple of hours. So a lot of people would rather just like pay money to get food delivered to them. And Childec was able to really capture that problem and provide a solution for it in different ways. They have bicycle people cycling to deliver food. And the first time I had someone deliver food to me on a bicycle, I was so dumbfounded, like, what is going on here? So really being able to like maximize the options around delivery, I think might have been one of the ways they've been able to like leverage on delivery because like we said, that is one of the main problems that Jumia Food had. It just took too long to get your food delivered to you. I think there was a time I ordered from Jumia Food around evening and I waited all night for my food to get delivered. They didn't confirm my order until the morning of the next day and
what?
it was the most annoying thing ever because what is the point? Like, what was the actual reason? I had to like go order food somewhere else. Like, there was no point to
They
using
didn't
that.
confirm your order until
They did
the
not
next day.
confirm. Nope, they didn't confirm the order until the next day. And the crazy thing about it was, I had to
And
call them the next day to ask them how far, what's going on, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like there was no dispatch person available to pick up the orders at the time that you booked it." I said, "Don't worry, just cancel the order.
hmm,
I'm not hungry anymore. There's no point. Let's keep it that way. There's literally no point to it."
yeah, that's really strange to be honest. Yeah, that was customer experience.
Yeah,
That's not good enough. Also very surprised that their own system didn't automatically cancel the order and
yeah.
give you a refund after, let's say it's reached like a few like hours. So yeah, that's an odd one,
Yeah,
definitely.
there was just like so much broken with the mobile app and the app experience in general. I'm quite surprised Jumia as a platform, that is like the marketplace where they sell other things is still like functioning fine. But I guess maybe that's primarily because it's not instant delivery and you actually need like a couple more days to process your order. For example, if I order a phone now on Jumia, I probably would expect to like get it today because they need time to process it. They need time to find someone to like dispatch it or something like that. And another problem that I had with Jumia dispatch riders was the fact that they'll come to your house or your address to like deliver. They don't stick around for long or communicate in advance when they're going to arrive. So they literally just be there for like a couple of seconds, call you once or twice, or even if they can't reach you at all, they leave.
Hmm.
And that was something that used to like make me so confused because it made no sense at all. But I mean, this is not Jumia slander. I'm venting here. The news we're sharing is about Chaldec. The interesting thing about Chaldec is the fact that the one of the founders actually used to work at Paystack. There's this school of thought that there's like an alumni of Paystack group where people work in Paystack for a while and then they just go on to like create their own company. That some of them are actually doing really well, but it's just like a select few of the people that leave Paystack that go on to like found their company, but Chowdeck happens to be like one of them. And
Mm.
that's so exciting. I wonder how the founders feel when they see the performance. Like, oh yeah, you still work in our company. Yeah, we gave
Yeah, so
you intro.
that sounds similar to the PayPal mafia. I guess in this case, it's
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
Paystack mafia, right? Yeah, employees leave. For people that haven't heard about the PayPal mafia, pretty much a group of like early founders of PayPal and then really employees of the company. Over the course of like time, they left the company and they started um, really massive and really significant and consequential companies that have pretty much changed like the global landscape of like technology, right? So, for example, Elon Musk was a member of PayPal back in the day. Also, people like Peter Thiel as well. Yeah, so it's really cool to see Nigeria have something similar, right?
yeah, definitely. The future of e-commerce in Africa seems to be very bright. I really do hope there are more startups that explore that area into delivering like services that are not very niche. Because I personally have always been of the opinion like we have too many finance products. We need to start exploring very niche areas that are still a problem, but nobody's like really solving for. Talking about e-commerce, another startup that is coming up in the African news setup is called Bumper. And Bumper, they say they're like, I'll say like they're the Shopify for Africa. I know it's like Shopify is Shopify for Africa, but Bumper is like Shopify for Africa, in my opinion, because I mean, they allow you to like set up a whole e-commerce place where you can manage your sales, your inventory, and everything else like that. Yeah, and what do you think about it? It's like, is Shopify good enough for Africa, or having like a startup that focuses on e-commerce for Africa is something that is worthwhile? Because Bumper literally just signed a partnership with Child Deck as well, that allows Child Deck to carry out deliveries on Bumper's behalf. So if you order maybe a dress on Bumper, Childek is not limiting their services to just like food delivery service for the Nigerian landscape. You can actually just initiate delivery like in general. So what do you think about that partnership? Do you think it's a smart one?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a smart one from Chowdeck, right? So basically, what you're saying is that Chowdeck is scaling into a new vertical, right? Not just focusing on food deliveries,
Yeah.
but then actually now they'll have partnerships. So it's more like a B2B setup
Yep.
where companies could actually integrate with them
Yeah.
and then they offer the logistics and the delivery
Yep.
components, right? So companies don't need to worry about that. I think it's a very interesting and common sense way to, can I say, develop the product.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely exciting.
Yeah.
That's a cool one.
It is, and also Bomba is like extending into Kenya, which is like a really cool development. I mean, they've really managed the Nigerian landscape well, and I see this could be like a good way to take over Africa. Maybe not take over Africa, but maybe Africa does need its own Shopify, and Shopify can be hard to set up because previously the payments integration was one that did not really allow a lot of businesses within Nigeria, within Africa to like accept payments from customers outside of the globe. But if we have like startups like Bopa that allow business owners to like set up their inventory management and handle delivery with collabs with Child Deck, I think that could be a way to like really focus on the local markets and get people to interact with businesses without stressing so much about international APIs. Because charging people to use services in foreign currency for a country like Nigeria, that is just something that I personally don't approve of. Like, please pay in your local currency to a local standard.
Dami, I'm curious, would this Chowdeck and Bumper collaboration unlock same day deliveries for customers?
Yeah, that is the aim. That is the exact aim. Yeah. So I mean, like I said earlier, Charlie has really mastered the delivery game. If you order to a large extent, you're able to like receive your order within a couple of hours. If they are able to like maximize that partnership well, I think it can work the same way for business owners that are using Bumper to order and get the same day delivery using Chaldec dispatch services. So yeah, we'll be on the lookout for more of that. But with that, we've come to the end of the news that we have this week. There's still
Yeah,
some.
I guess the only thing left to talk about is GTA 6, right? For the gamers out there, GTA 6 unfortunately has been pushed back from May 2026 to November 2026. So, yeah, still some months to go, boys. Sorry about that.
I am not crazy about that. I do not consider that news personally because who is surprised? They, no, let's be honest with ourselves. How many times have they pushed back this launch? Because they do this thing, announce like, oh, it's launching on this particular day, then they come, they push it back, drop a bit of snippets to get people excited, like, wow, the animation is so specific, it looks so human, there are new elements, new cars, new buildings, new location. Oops, we're launching in 6 months' time from when we actually planned to when they're ready, they should let us know when it's actually launching, and I will consider that as news to be aware of. For now, it's just they're just playing. They're playing in our faces. They need to stop.
Hopefully, they deliver this time.
Fingers crossed. But I'm not holding my breath for them. They're lying. They're lying to us at this point. So, moving on to favorite segments, which is products that we are liking right now. Personally, I don't think there's anything that stood out for me like lately, but I'm going to let Yanu get into his own a bit because this guy caved. You guys, if you remember in episode one, he saw like the iPhone was just ordinary. It was okay. That was how we said it. He said like it's okay. Seriously, yeah, but we caught him in action now. What do you have to say for
So,
this?
so in my defense, Dami, in my defense, I did say that I like the orange version of the
And
iPhone, right? So there's that, and yeah, I did. Basically, I got an iPhone 17
okay,
Pro. Basically, upgraded my iPhone finally. I've been using like the same iPhone for like a number of years now, so I figured it'd be good to take the plunge and have these one of these phones to kind of like play with myself.
uh,
And
play
to
with
be yeah,
guys.
play with.
That is so
Yeah.
hypocritical.
What do you mean, Dami? And to be honest, it's funny that you are bringing this up and coming for me
I
because
know.
I'm pretty sure that
I
you also
never
need
said
to
I
have
didn't
something. You
like
also should be
iPhone.
confessing
No,
something right now. You should be confessing something as well,
what
Dami.
am I confessing? I never said I didn't like the iPhone. I got one. I told you right from the start, like, yeah, I did not like the orange one. But this guy
Yeah.
still went ahead to like he saw my phone and he held it, saw the camera setting and all of that, and tell me why he's like, oh, I finally got the iPhone. I was like, nah. Stop it.
Yeah, I just wanted to get an upgrade. Basically, I've been long due for one, so I figured sooner rather than later.
So tell us, now that that's your favorite product so far, how have you been finding it? What has stood out for you the most in the new iPhone
Would I
7?
really say it's my favorite product so far? I'd say it's more like more one of the more exciting ones I've used. I mean, it's the newest product I've gotten like so far. So yeah, um, and I'd say it's pretty cool, right? The new camera button, I've been playing around with that a little bit. So yeah, that's all right. I also like the display quality, resolutions, and everything. Like the blacks are really black, which is also really good. And also, I've been impressed by the battery life so far. So yeah, there's also that. Right. How
So
about you? What's been your favorite thing about the phone so far?
the camera, honestly, like you said, there's so much functionality that Apple has put into the camera for the 17 Pro, and I absolutely love because now it's like the colors are very crisp. If you record a video, oof, 4K 60, my go-to setting, it's delivering video quality on a level that pardon my French, is je ne crois, But yeah, I feel like it's really comparable to, no, maybe not comparable so much, but yeah, it gives like an actual video cam quality. And that's something that I like, especially from a content point of view, because if I'm recording videos, I need my videos to look like as good as can be. The only problem that I have with it is night mode on iPhone is still absolute crap. I don't know how Google Pixel were able to like master that. But I think like Apple camera still needs a lot of work in regards to taking pictures at night. It's just not great. It's not great. I stand corrected. If anyone has figured out a way to like take great pictures with their iPhone at night, please share with me. I'm more than happy to like hear. But so far, even with the 17 Pro and how fantastic the camera is, I'm still not able to like take great pictures at night, and that's a bit annoying for me.
Yeah, Apple definitely doesn't joke with their cameras, right? So that's always something that has been a forte of theirs, right? The night mode one is interesting. I haven't really tried out the night mode yet,
Yeah,
but now that you mention it, I am definitely going to try it out. Um, the new camera button I mentioned, that one actually did come out with the iPhone 16
yeah,
from last year. But I think that it's a decent innovation as well on the camera end, right? So one thing I did play around with is something that Apple calls, can I say styles, right? So basically, when you first set up your camera,
yeah,
you pick a specific style that best suits what you prefer, like the kind of pictures that you like.
yeah.
So you could select, if you like your pictures being brighter, you could select the brightness or brighter style, whatever they call it. You could also select the style if you prefer a more natural look.
Yeah.
If you prefer cooler pictures, you could select a style for that. So there are different styles to basically suit your specific likes. So that was also like kind of like a cool thing I
Yeah,
noticed.
nice. And what is your thoughts about the glass effect now? Have you changed your thoughts about it? Because I think I like it. I actually do like it because it looks very different from what the original version was when they launched like the Apple event. I think that got like a bit of backlash. So maybe the contrast was updated after feedback. But right now, I don't mind it, especially with the menu area. Like you select when you're scrolling through the home screen, it looks fine to me. I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely much better now than when it first launched. I would say it's less right now. It's less of liquid glass and more like frosted glass, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, exactly.
Right. But yeah, it's cool. I have no complaints to it right now. Yeah, it's okay.
Awesome. That's pretty much it about Apple. If you got the new iPhone 17 Pro, 17 iPhone Air,
iPhone Air, yeah,
yeah, iPhone Air. Let us know how you're finding it so far. We'll be happy to know what your impression has been and what your favorite feature for the phone is currently.
definitely.
And with that, we've come to the end of episode 3. Thank you so much for listening to Tech Tacto, your tech podcast, Tech Talk for everyday people. We'll catch you with more tech news in the coming week. Make sure to follow us everywhere.
And if you want to say hi, you can reach us at hello@techtacto.live. And yeah, looking forward to hearing your comments. We've loved the feedback we've heard from you guys so far about the podcast. And yeah, we are actively looking at how we can keep improving it to meet what you guys like. So yeah, keep coming, keep that feedback coming.
So we'll catch you in episode 4 next time. Bye.
Bye.